60 years and I'm still not bored. There's absolutely nothing that I can't afford. And I found that almost everything is made of cardboard. And there's absolutely nothing I can't sing with weird chords. And I can run faster with no wind resistance.
This is No Wind Resistance. Many might recognize this song from its popularity on TikTok back in 2020 during the peak of the pandemic. Even to this day, this song is still pretty big on TikTok, mostly used for liminal space and weird core videos with the sort of eerie vocals that play in the bridge. The song was created in 2019 by Kinneret, featuring Eternal Bushido. In just 2022, the song reached over about 40 million streams on Spotify, and it's now running around 126 million. This song took TikTok by storm for a while, and from an interview with Hey Elma, Kinneret was sort of expecting it all to happen, stating, "There was so much magic to the song that I'd play it for everyone I knew and be like, look at what I made." So I think I did know that it was a magical song. In this video, I will be going over some of the songs from DMZ and unpacking the societal truths in the lyrics and the joy Kinneret expresses of being label free. But I think before we get any further into this dive, I think it would be a good idea that we talk about the singer behind the song.
Songs they just like to play. They play them with my name. I sing them just the same.
Kinneret, whose name originates from Hebrew, is a 22-year-old Jewish singer, songwriter, and producer. My name is a Hebrew name. People haven't heard it before, but somehow people really struggle to learn how to say it. Kinneret was destined to make music. She calls it her namesake, given the Hebraic translation of her name, harp. From Learn My Name, from her most recent album, All That I Know, she explores her relationship with her Hebrew name and her quest to pay tribute to her namesake. Her music genre consists of trap, almost art pop, and lately leaning a little bit towards drum and bass. She is obviously most known for No Wind Resistance, from her debut album, whom she made with Eternal Bushido. Eternal Bushido is a producer who primarily creates cloud rap and trap beats. As of today, there's not a lot of information out there about him, and I did eventually reach out to him, but haven't yet received a response. He's still fairly active on social media, promoting his new music here and there and behind the scenes. His most recent song being Year of the Dragon a little earlier this year. According to quite a few sources and Kinneret herself, DMZ was made by a group of high school kids, which definitely becomes more apparent as you listen. It definitely seems more experimental, and there's a lot of room for improvement at the time. In high school, I became friends with Ezekiel, who was in my music tech class. A lot of my friends made beats, but no one made beats like Ezekiel. I went up to him and we started to become friends. I asked politely if I could write over one of his beats, and I started writing in class. That song that I started writing was No Wind Resistance. It was pretty magical, and I remember writing the lyrics to that beat he showed me and performing it to him. And then he really started to get on board. He sent me 10 beats to my email, and I wrote a song to pretty much every single one of them. And that became my first album, DMZ.
Yeah, when I started going to a public performing arts high school and becoming friends with people who made beats and played the drums, and I thought they were the coolest people around, I was like, I want to do that too, and I have some things to say because I have some things I'm mad about. And that's how I wrote my first album, was in school with my peers sending me beats.
Despite the album basically being a school project, it explores some consistent themes like space, school, and society that really seem to present themselves throughout. And some of the production is pretty impressive for how and when it was made. It's not to say that the music journey hasn't evolved in any way since, or that this album defines who they are today or the art they make today. I do understand that this is a pretty old album now and things have definitely changed since then. I also wanted to mention that I won't be talking about the whole album, but I will highlight some songs and lyrics that stand out to me. The album starts off pretty melancholy with the song Patience. It's sort of angsty with its lyrics.
My first one, what I wrote in high school, and I was angsty and I was mad about a lot of things.
It introduces one of the running themes being school.
I'll keep doing my assignment, fixing this alignment, master the refinement, maybe be enlightened, environmentally. You think that I would be excited, toss away my talents with all grades hiding. I'm sorry, I'm frightened. They don't
That are revisited in the following song, Light Years. This song kicks off the following themes of space.
Maybe I'm light years away. Maybe if I light years away.
Also introducing the reoccurring character named Janet.
Janet is a fictional character that I sing about a lot. She represents anyone who's judgmental, jealous, or basically anyone that lets their insecurities control their life. No hate against the name Janet, it just rhymes with planet in one of my songs.
Janet can be heard briefly followed through the album, used to represent insecurities and judgmentations, and tells a story through the songs. Originally, I had this idea that Janet's story was told in the way she was mentioned, but I think that might just be me looking too into it.
Planet, that's why Janet's too scared to fly through the stars. She thinks she's limited and they're infinite. How could she live in it?
I think it's finally time that I talk about this song, as it's probably the main song that inspired me to make this video and to check out the rest of the album.
Yeah, it's a magical song, and I've known that since the moment I wrote it. That's what's special about it. I had wanted to write a song about the concept of wind resistance for a long time, ever since that physics class, and I remember hearing that beat and feeling like it was me running fast, and I was like, this is the song, this is the time.
The song opens up with futuristic synths and a fading in and out melody. As the chorus progresses with its many layers of bass and trap qualities, Kinneret's unique vocals really stand out in the song as it gives some eerie characteristics and make it sound pretty isolated.
Just window seats for free.
The song's instrumental toggles between obnoxious bass and an isolated melody.
When I wrote this song, I was 16, not 60, but who cares?
I have been dying to talk about this song for a while as it really stood out to me. It's completely underrated, and I've seen a couple reviews stating how it was probably their least favorite, but for me personally it has to be up there with No Wind Resistance. I am in love with this bass, like I literally want to eat this bass. And Kinneret really proves herself talented with the vocals and emotive delivery, with the dynamic shifts between soft and powerful moments.
Severity of man, but there's no clarity in all or nothing.
Of course, the song isn't perfect, but the production, vocals, and harmonies are really impressive for a first album, exploring on how vast, empty, and lonely space can be. Straight away looking at the cover art of this album, you can see that the theming relies very heavily on space, with Kinneret and Eternal Bushido in astronaut costumes. It's so simple, but has to be up there with one of my favourite album covers purely just because of that. Several of the songs in the album imply to follow a narrative.
Now, if they mean something different to you, that's okay. Keep that meaning. Just because I created the song doesn't mean I have any ownership over the feelings that it's supposed to induce.
Although it's not implied that this narrative means anything, here is my small theory. The story begins in Light Years, where it seems our unnamed character has lifted off into space in their spaceship. They've had enough of this Earth and are going to see bigger things. And you're crazy if you think you're going to see them again.
Someone saying something mean in the distance, but in my spacecraft I don't listen.
To escape the judgmental Janets of the world.
Judgmental girl named Janet, so much more than the planet.
In Spoonbending, they have slowly started to adjust to life in space, claiming to have the ability to teleport from one place to another and bending spoons with their mind. However, as time passes, it's been almost 60 years now and things are starting to get lonely. Vast emptiness, echoing silence, nothing but your own thoughts, and eternal darkness that is space. Times are lonely, the stars distant and silent.
Are the same. It's clarity and much, much bigger than us. Everything that follows me, that watches me, except the moon, it leaves me be. No industries in the deep blue sea.
It's no doubt that Kinneret has various references of the ways of today's society and its unfairness in her music. Through these lines, Kinneret expresses her passion for being label-free in the music industry.
Don't need to be accompanied, this ocean sounds like a symphony.
I learnt that the music industry is just a bunch of real people who want to be paid, and that nobody cares more about my album than me and the real fans that are listening. That was the kind of special thing to learn. This has brought me on to the second last song in the album titled Rest Stop. This song wasn't a major fan favourite, and I can definitely understand why, as it may come off as a little bit repetitive, but I primarily wanted to focus on the lyrics of the song.
You look tired, you look sad. You look hungry, you look dead. By yourself, by yourself.
The repetition of "buy our stuff" highlights how society pressures individuals to consume products in exchange for money. Sometimes it's tough to truly feel alive when everything around us is all about buying and owning stuff. Society can tend to link our value to what we have.
All of our material items that we practically worship, our Prada, our BB Simmons, Simon, whatever, they're all just toys. They're fun, but they're arts and crafts that other humans have put together, and we can collect them, we can trade them, but they don't make us any more important than someone else. They just don't.
Kinneret takes joy in being label-free and independent, and has gone to create her own titled Tiny Heart Productions. From what I know, it's solely just a place to put her music rather than being a big record label, and I genuinely support her for this. Being independent gives Kinneret freedom to make music without restraints and allows more time to stay passionate about doing what she loves. Kinneret's musical journey, evolving from an angsty high school project to an independent artist, really highlights her creative talents and her quest to self-discovery. Hopefully this video was interesting enough for you to listen to Kinneret's other songs, as it might just pique your interest. And I think it's worth listening to DMZ at least once. Although the internet is a complete dumpster fire as of late.
If I could kill it, I would.
While researching for this video, I accidentally stumbled across a subreddit which was purely just to hate on this one song. In a world of brain rot and content farms, sometimes TikTok does us a favour and introduces us to upcoming artists that won't stop at anything to share their passion with the world. And I really think that's a special thing when you come across it. Kinneret wants the world to know her name, and I believe she's well on her way to making that happen. Again, I just wanted to thank you all so much for all the support this year, and I'll see you in the new year with new videos.
And we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You're gonna know there's no tornado. Every morning I wake up, shove my face into a pillow and scream. Lately I'm feeling existential. I don't know what meant to be. Embrace me. You said you'd cry, but your hands are shaking. Hate me, degrade me. It might disappear, but you won't replay me. It might disappear, but you won't replay me.
I'm just grateful because that means that I've kind of sung that song to someone 100 million times in their ears on a speaker, and I care about those lyrics, so I'm glad it's that song.
Wow.